Afternoon, everybody. I got some questions for you guys. Question number 1. If Sasquatch doesn't exist, why is it that it is considered a felony charge of a case of murder if you are found shooting one? Not just in Washington State, but in Canada, Russia, Germany, Indonesia, Indochina. All these places have already put a felony charge on harassing or murder of a Sasquatch. It would not be considered murder if it was an animal. And that's my biggest point to prove to a lot of people there, that just because you don't see something don't mean it ain't out there. I've never seen an elephant. Never seen a giraffe. I ain't never seen no zebra. And yeah, these are all animals that we know are proven to exist, and they got, good documentation on them and stuff, and people go on safaris after them and whatnot. I get that. But I ain't never seen one. So the argument of just because I haven't seen it means it don't exist is null and void at this point. So, and not to mention too, that there are things in this world in which we will never understand. There are forces to this world in which we will never understand. So, considering the idea that these people are capable of manipulating their surroundings and capable of manipulating what you see is not necessarily a far sight from what we perceive as reality. Considering also too quantum physics and how much quantum physics has opened up the possibilities for absolutely anything and everything, in which they are also tying quantum physics into spirits too. Legitimate ghosts and demons and angels and all kinds of different spirits and stuff and what have you. So the idea that something could be both physical and spirit is also not something that is too far out of reach or too much of a far sight of our own reality as well, considering the fact that, well, for a lot of you who follow me who are Christian and stuff, understand that we are both flesh and spirit too. There is the spiritual me, the spirit that resides within me, and there's my body too. And my body and my spirit are not exactly the same person, because huge point to be made in Christian faith too is that your biggest struggle in life will always be against yourself. You will be your worst enemy since day one. So my question of why is it so hard to believe simply because you haven't seen it? I mean, it's also like this too. A lot of people ask the question, and it's usually people who aren't in the knowing of them too. They're always asking, do you believe in Sasquatch? Well, to believe in something is to put your faith in it too. I don't believe in deer. I don't believe in elk, bear, dogs, cats. I don't believe in any of the animals that walk this earth. I simply know. And it's the same for them. It is the same. And The biggest point that I've had to make to a lot of skeptics too is that whenever you are out in the woods and stuff, and I get this all the time, where people will be like, well, I've been out in the woods my entire life, I ain't never seen one. That's fine. I've been out in the woods my entire life, I ain't ever seen a wolverine. I know they're out there, but I ain't never seen one. I think it'd be really cool to see one too. But giving it the benefit of the doubt and stuff, of understanding that there are more things and there is just more in general to this world than what we give credit for. We're so stuck on materialism that we don't give any room for what could be, what is, and what we don't know. So, welcome to the rabbit hole. This is where most people like to argue with themselves about it and everything. And I respect a lot of people who have never seen a Sasquatch and stuff. And I'm going to be dead honest with you. I've seen them a couple of times. And I am absolutely 100% positive that they were Sasquatch and not a stupid bear. As every person who has automatically come to that conclusion, oh, you saw a bear. Really, are you the one looking through my eyes? Because that really makes me want to slap the hell out of you. I'm just being honest. I don't come up to you and tell you what you see. You come up to me and you tell me what you've seen. And it's the same. So do not come up to me and tell me what I have seen. Okay? I have nothing to gain from it. Absolutely nothing to gain. Yeah, I have this channel. I have this research channel that I do and stuff. What am I gaining from it? Let me ask you that, because I can tell you exactly what I gained from it, and it was a whole lot of loss. A whole lot of loss. I've lost my reputation in my last job, where people I didn't even know were coming up to me and making fun of me because other people were telling them all about my life, and I never even met that person, but to them I'm already a joke. It's stuff like that I quickly raise my hackles on. And, you know, there ain't nothing I can do to make you guys come around to it. I can only show you guys and do exactly what I've been doing from the get-go, like running around with like a chicken with my head cut off, because that's what I've been doing this whole time. Because I can't prove anything to you guys. I can only show you what I find. And that's the same said for every other researcher out there. And what really irks me too on the inside of the research field is whenever people start calling themselves experts. Really? You're an expert on them, are you? How about that? Why don't you tell me all about them? Tell me something I don't know. And tell me something on exactly how you became an expert on the unknown. That's my biggest question right there. Because to be an expert on something is to know at least 85% of what it is, really. And also, too, this goes for all scientists, because so many people claim, oh, let the experts handle it, let the experts handle it. You know what science is based off of? Theory. Guessing. Educated guesses. I guess it's like this. I guess it's like that. And so far, everybody's like, well, that makes sense, so now you must be an expert. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as an expert on Sasquatch. There is no such thing as an expert on gravitational force. There is no such thing as an expert on even biology, because wouldn't you know it, every single year we make new discoveries that change everything we know about science. So all these books that we consume as kids and stuff in school growing up and everything, this is how it is, this is how it is. And then here's your history books, this is how it was, this is how it was. But yet they cookie cutter all of the fine pieces out and leave the rest of it out completely, and you're left to guess on what actually happened, because history is written by the victor, and the victor only wants you knowing what the victor wants you to know. So why would the victor tell you how to or why would the victor tell you all of his dirty business? Why would the victor tell you how to overthrow him? Why would the victor allow you to have such knowledge, such capability? Because knowledge put into action is power. Why would they allow you to have such power? Quick answer, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. So I just want people to understand that there is a very, very definitive line between somebody who believes and somebody who knows. And I also want to point out that there is a definitive line between somebody who knows and somebody who calls himself an expert on it too. There is no such thing. If you are following people that call themselves an expert on this subject, you are being fooled. And I can promise you that. Because the second that they mess up, you're going to be like, and you catch it, you're going to be the one going like, well, what else have they been screwing with my head on? Because you're not thinking for yourself. This is why I tell everybody, take it with a grain of salt. All information, take it with a grain of salt. That means take the information, learn from it, but also understand too, you ain't gonna actually know the truth unless you investigate yourself. And you find the answers yourself rather than being told the answer like we have been our entire lives. Our entire lives. We've been told this is how it is, this is how it is, this is how it is. And we just, okay. We just go with it. Without even, wavering our trust. So, I guess what it would take for the world to actually believe, because the biggest question I get is, where's the body? And my biggest rebuttal is to this is, well, there have been many, for one. Two, they ain't gonna let you know about it, because why would they? Why? You want to know why they hide the bodies? You want to know why they will not out it and declassify it like the rest of the world has already? Well, money. This whole country, America in general, is a giant corporation. It's capitalism. It's a giant corporation. We are here as a business. That's what we do. We make money. So we've put money as priority, the precipice of all things, unfortunately. And money gets to dictate what we do, what we listen to, who we believe, and so on and so forth. But how does it affect money? Look at that train. What a perfect example. You see all that lumber? That's lumber. Where does that lumber come from? It comes from the trees. It comes from the very ecosystem that we've been cutting down around them. And wouldn't you know it, more and more loggers are starting to see more and more Sasquatch, and more of these frontier cities are starting to actually understand there's something out here. There is something out here. But yet the world don't understand it. The world don't believe. The world could care less because the world has put their money where their mouth is at that point. We proved Sasquatch. We shut down logging. We shut down logging. We shut down the infrastructure of capitalism entirely. It takes all of these trees to build this nation, to build society the way that we have today. And why on earth would they jeopardize society for the sake of understanding that one other human being, a different type of human being, is living alongside us? They're just Aboriginal. That is simply it. They are Aboriginal. Yeah, they're massive, and they're hairy, and they're nude. They don't need to wear clothes. They have coats. They already have coats. What is the point of wearing clothes whenever you don't need it? I think I've said all I need to say. God bless. Stay squatchy.